Today we have our mono red commander deck, our budget one. I've done blue, green, and white at this point. This is our red one, and the next will be black, and then we'll start doing some other, fun builds. But this is the red, mono red. So let's just jump into it, man. We've got Gornog, the Red Reaper. He costs 3 mana. He's a 2/3. And he has haste. Cowards can't block warriors. Whenever one or more warriors you control attack a player, target creature that player controls becomes a coward. Attacking warriors you control get +X/+0, where X is the number of cowards your opponents control. So with that, um, I have a lot of warriors in the deck, right? So that's the whole idea. Is it's kind of, I want to say, aggressive red control, sort of. Um, it's very slow, but this actually, I'll explain a game later on in this video where me and my buddies played and it actually did well. We played on untapped.in. But anyways, um, yeah. So you attack with your warriors, they can't block you. Honestly, what this deck might need, which maybe you guys can revise in your own time, is more ways to give haste. I think, which I think I might have a few of those, but that might be the only thing is to give your warriors haste to get them out rocking and rolling a lot faster, um, especially for this type of red play style. But that's fine. All right, cool. That's our commander. We're gonna move on. We have our anthem. Attacking creatures you control have double strike. Red creatures you control have first strike. Creatures you control have haste. Where there's that, and then other red creatures you control get +1/+1. Um, so the first one will start off Berserker's Onslaught, costs 5 mana. Give double strike to everything. That actually came in handy in that game I played. Once I find the other card, I'll explain how it came in handy. We have Bloodmark Mentor, costs 2 mana. It's a goblin. Red creatures you control have first strike. Again, you're giving multiple upgrades here. If Berserker's Onslaught gets blown up, well, at least you can give him first strike. You know what I mean? It's always good to have a couple of options available. Next, we have Cyclops Eternal Fury for 6 mana. Creatures you control have haste. He's a 5/3. Enchantment creature Cyclops. Control creatures you control have haste. Just said I think that's what this deck needs is to give the warriors haste. They hit the ground running, rocking and rolling, and also for the token building that I put in this, which we will go over in a little bit. Next, we have Paragon of Fierce Defiance. 4 mana, 2/2 human warrior. Other creatures you control get +1/+1. You can pay red and tap. Another target creature you control gains haste until end of turn. So that's also an option. They get +1/+1 and they get haste. So there are a couple haste options, but I could see there being a few other more sustained options as well. But that's your anthem here. We'll move on, and some of these might become more relevant here in a minute. We have our burn. We have Aether Sting. Whenever one of your opponents plays a creature spell, Aether Sting deals 1 damage to that player. It's just slow burn, slow sustained burn on the enemy. I think it's fantastic. Um, it costs 4 mana, but if people are playing a lot of creatures like a green player, you can at least keep hitting them a little bit, chip them down. If anything, it's poking them constantly and annoying them. So we have Ash Zealot. Two red mana. It's a 2/2. First strike and haste. Whenever a player casts a spell from a graveyard, Ash Zealot deals 3 damage to that player. Actually, my buddy was playing green and black earlier, where he had a bit of graveyard play. This would be perfect for that. I didn't draw it during that game, but it is good for that. So, kind of helps take care of those black players. And even my other friend used green, where he had a lot of graveyard play, and this would have helped during that. So, we have Banefire sorcery. Cost X amount of mana and 1 red. Banefire deals X damage to any target. If X is 5 or more, the spell can't be countered and the damage can't be prevented. This can be a good way to knock out big boys on the field, or a commander, or a combo piece, something of that nature. This can be great for that. Beacon of Destruction is next. 5 mana. Beacon of Destruction deals 5 damage to target creature or player. Shuffle Beacon of Destruction to its owner's library. So here's a burn spell that we can shuffle right back in. Yeah, you don't get it back to your hand or anything, but at least it's back in your deck. This deck doesn't have, pull instants of sorceries out of your graveyard, put them back in your hand or anything like that. or any exiling or anything. So this goes right back in. So you might draw it again and use it again. So that's good. Blaze deals X damage to any target. Pretty self-explanatory. Self-explanatory. We have Bolt Wave for one red. Bolt Wave deals 3 damage to each opponent. Hey man, if you've been knocking heads back and forth this whole time, and this could be the difference between killing somebody and not killing someone. I've had games where people sit at 1 health, um, or 1 life, or a couple of life, and still be able to fight for a little while. So that's good for that. Next, we have Chandra, Fire of Kaladesh for 3 mana. Whenever you cast a red spell, untap Chandra, Fire of Kaladesh. Tap Chandra, Fire of Kaladesh, deals 1 damage to target player. If it has dealt 3 or more damage this turn, exile her, then return her to the battlefield transformed under her owner's control. Her transformation becomes Chandra, Roaring Flame. +1, Chandra, Roaring Flame deals 2 damage to the target player. -2, Chandra deals 2 damage to target creature. -7, she deals 6 damage to each opponent. Each player dealt damage this way gets the emblem with at the beginning of your upkeep. This emblem deals 3 damage to you. That's really what we're trying to go for here. We want to try to build up, try to protect her as much as we can to get to that -7. I had a different Planeswalker in this deck that actually got me an emblem earlier, and it helped a ton. So we're literally looking to get that -7 so we can keep burning people consistently. Then we have Gratuitous Violence, costs 5 mana. If a creature you control would deal damage to a permanent or player, it deals double that damage to that permanent or player instead. So, when we played earlier, my buddy was playing a black and green elf deck. What's the name of it? It's like Lila or Lilith. I don't know. I do know that it allowed you to tap up to it was 10 other elves to be able to do 10 damage to all your opponents, or 10 life, and then you gain 10 life. And then also for however much damage she did in combat damage, she created that many 1/1 elf tokens. I'm sure you guys know who she is. I can't remember the name of it, but like we were both building tokens, and I was using Krinko, which is in this deck, as my token building. Krinko's not in here specifically to do a lot of attacking, more just to help sustain defense while you build up your warriors over time. But it ended up working out that I could attack with them pretty well. So I had 16. I think 16. I think it was 16. It was either 16 or 14 goblins that I had Gratuitous Violence and Berserker's Onslaught, so I gave them double strike, and then this also allowed that to be double the damage. So my little 1/1s turned into doing 4 damage, and I was able to use my commander plus another creature, which we will be coming across soon, that allowed me to turn his blockers into cowards. So they couldn't block my warriors. All they could do was block a couple of my tokens. And it allowed me to swing out and do 48 damage just with the tokens. And then the rest to kill him came from my warriors. I think he had 49 health. Yeah. So the warriors were more than enough to kill, to take out the rest of his health. And he got me down to 10 health and killed our other friend. Um, so I got really lucky there. But just goes to show, hey, that damage can really make a difference. But that's not what the goblin tokens are specifically for. But hey, use them where you use them. Play the game how you need to play it. But yeah, that's where that came in. Next we have Turret Ogre. It's a 4 mana 4/3 reach. When Turret Ogre enters the battlefield, if you control another creature with power 4 or greater, Turret Ogre deals 2 damage to each opponent. So that's pretty great. Can help you maybe knock down a creature or whatever, but just a little extra, pizzazz to that creature. We have counters. Hamlet back Goliath. It's 7 mana, 6/6. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield, you may put X/1/1 counters on Hamlet back Goliath, where X is that creature's power. So if you're pumping up fucking Krinko using him to make tokens, and a bunch of 1/1s are entering, well, he's just guy's gonna get buffed and buffed and buffed. So that's good to have. We have now just creatures. A Boulderfoot, 6 mana 4/5. When he enters battlefield, deals 1 damage to target creature or player. Again, hey, nothing wrong with having a little extra burn. Battle Scarred Goblin. You have 2 mana, 2/2. Whenever battle scarred goblin becomes blocked, it deals 1 damage to each creature blocking it. This can be a great way to kill a couple tokens, or maybe not tokens, but to weaken an enemy. You're already going to kill them anyways. Then we have Bogart Brute. It's 3 mana, 3/2 menace. Very simple. As you can see, all warrior, 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 warrior. A lot of warriors here. So whenever Bull Rush Bruiser attacks, if your team controls another warrior, Bull Rush Bruiser gains first strike until end of turn. 4 mana, 4/3. Very simple. Expedition Champion, 3 mana, 2/3. Gets +2/+0 as long as you control another warrior, which way more than likely will. Kargan Dragon Lord, 2 mana. That's one of those level up cards. You can level up for 1 red. It starts off as a 2/2, 4/7, gains flying, it becomes a 4/4, level 8 plus, flying, trample, 8/8, and then you can pay 1 to give them a +1/+0 until end of turn. So that's good. And then we have Lava Step Raider, 1 mana, 1/2. You can pay 3 mana, gets +2/+0 until end of turn. So the reason some of these guys are in here, they're goblins and warriors, so I can use them with Krinko, but also can use them with my commander, and they're low cost. 2 mana, 3 mana, 1 mana, 3 mana, 2 mana, 4 mana, not too bad. So like low cost ways to get goblins and warriors out on the field that I can benefit from both. So we have draw. We don't have as much draw in this deck as others, but there's a few other options here as well. We have Court of Ire, 5 mana. Court of Ire enters the battlefield. You become the Monarch. Beginning of your upkeep, Court of Ire deals 2 damage to any target. If you're the Monarch, it deals 7 damage instead. That's just fucking awesome. Monarch always gives you extra card draw, but this is also adding burn to that. That's good to have. Endless Atlas, you guys seen it before in other decks. It costs 2 mana, pay 2, tap, draw a card, activate only if you control 3 or more lands with the same name. Very simple. You know, if you got 3 mountains, here you go. Farsight Mask, that's 5 mana. Whenever a source an opponent controls deals damage to you, if Farsight Mask is untapped, you may draw a card. Unless somebody else is going to tap it, there's really no way it should be getting tapped. It should be drawing you an extra card. Idol of Oblivion costs 2 mana. You can tap, draw a card, activate only if you created a token this turn. We have Krinko here. We're creating tokens. You can also pay 8, tap it, sacrifice this artifact, create a 10/10 colorless Eldrazi creature token. There you go. You know, if you ever need a big boy, that's how you get them out in the field. But with Krinko probably consistently creating tokens, you can keep drawing a card off of that. Then we have Tamio's Journal, 5 mana. At the beginning of your upkeep, investigate, which allows you to draw a card with a clue token. You can also tap it, sacrifice 3 clue tokens, search your library for a card, put that card into your hand, then shuffle. It's also got some tutoring there. It just says a card. Well, fuck, you can go pull what you need. Very good. We have Evasion, Archetype of Aggression, 3 mana, 3/2. Creatures you control have trample. Creatures your opponents control lose trample and can't have or gain trample. This is like all the other archetypes, like Archetype of Endurance, Archetype of Imagination, Archetype of, I think, Courage. They all have them. So this is Red's version of it. We have Atarka Pummeler with 5 mana, 4/5. Formidable, 5 mana. Each creature you control can't be blocked this turn except by 2 or more creatures. Activate this ability only if creatures you control have total power 8 or greater. You just give all your fucking creatures menace doing that. Pretty dope. I like that. Again, warrior, right? Blow your house down, 3 mana, up to 3 target creatures can't block this turn. Destroy any of them that are walls. This can be good against players that play very defensively. They've got big boys. Even not just walls, just big boys on the field. Here's a free way to destroy them. Get them out of your way. Baldwire Intimidator, 7 mana, 5/5 giant warrior. I used him to help me turn my friend's creatures into cowards so I could swing past them with my warriors earlier when we were playing. It says cowards can't block warriors. 1 red mana, target creature becomes a coward until end of turn. 3 mana, target creature becomes a warrior until end of turn. Pretty self-explanatory. This helped me out a ton. It allowed me to pay the 3 mana and turn his 3 blockers into cowards so I could swing past him with my warriors. Then we have, for 4 mana, 4/4 Frontier Warmonger. Whenever 1 or more creatures attack one of your opponents or planeswalkers they control, those creatures gain menace until end of turn. So, remember, just gives them all menace. It's pretty dope. Goblin War Drums, 3 mana. Creatures you control have menace. It's a little redundancy, but it's sometimes good to have redundancy. You don't want to put all of your eggs in one basket. You don't want to have, if you're building a mill deck, you don't want one thing that mills. You want multiple things that mill, so you have multiple options. Same thing here. Kargan Intimidator, 2 mana, 3/1. Cowards can't block warriors. You can pay 1 mana, choose one that hasn't been chosen by this turn. You get to +1/+1. Target creature becomes a coward, or target warrior gains trample until the end of turn. Again, another way to create cowards, and maybe do some buffing for other people. Krinko's Enforcer, 3 mana, 2/2. Intimidate. This creature can't be blocked except by artifact creatures and/or creatures that share a color with it. If you're playing against somebody that doesn't have red, you can just get free swings on them if they don't have artifacts. So, pretty good. Our land base is just mountains, just 36 mountains. Very simple, straightforward, easy to do. Then we have our protection. Kazul, Tyrant of the Cliffs, 5 mana, 5/4. Whenever a creature an opponent controls attacks, if you're the defending player, create a 3/3 red ogre creature token unless that creature's controller pays 3. We're taxing them in red. That doesn't happen all the time, but we're taxing them. We are making them pay us 3 mana to attack us. If they don't, we're getting a 3/3 token. It's always nice to have extra creatures on the field. We have our pump, Chaos Terminator Lord, 4 mana, 3/3. Lord of Chaos, beginning of your combat on your turn, another target creature you control gains double strike until end of turn. That's nice. It's really good to give somebody, especially if you have a warrior, you know, and there's a bunch of, cowards, can't block them. Here's an extra way to put out some damage. So that's nice. We have our ramp here, Alloy Myrrh, 3 mana, 2/2. Tap, add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. Arcane Signet, you guys know what that is. Tap it, add 1 mana of color to your commander's color identity. Brass Bounty, 7 mana. For each land you control, create a treasure token. You can tap it, sacrifice it, add 1 mana of any color. That's pretty dope. If you got 10 fucking mountains out, guess what? You get to create 10 fucking mana. That's really good. Coveted Jewel costs 6 mana, kind of high, but you can tell when it enters, you draw 3 cards and tap it for 3 mana of any one color. Kind of a late game mana rock. Darksteel Ingot, 3 mana, indestructible. Tap it, add 1 mana of any color. Decanter of Endless Water, 3 mana. You have no maximum hand size. Tap it, add 1 mana of any color. Dreamstone Hedron, 6 mana. Tap it to add 3 mana. You can also sacrifice it to draw 3 cards. Hedron Archive, 4 mana. Tap it to add 2 colorless mana. You can also sacrifice it and draw 2 cards. Hedron Crawler, 2 mana. You can tap it to add 1 mana to your mana pool, 1 colorless. Fire of Resistance, it's 4 mana. It starts off with 4. It's a Planeswalker. You can do +2 to search your library for a basic mountain. Reveal it, put it in your hand, then shuffle. You can do -3. It deals damage to target creature equal number of mountains you control, and you can also get the emblem, which I did get. Even after they blew it up, you always keep your emblem during that game. Sweet. -7, you get an emblem with whenever a mountain enters the battlefield under your control. The emblem deals 4 damage to any target. I was actually blowing up multiple creatures because of that emblem. That was awesome to have. It was very useful. A Magnifying Glass, 3 mana. Tap it to add 1 colorless, or 4 mana. Tap it, investigate, create a clue token that you can sacrifice to draw a card. Not the best way to do card draw, but it is an extra option, so it's nice to have. Something that adds mana and can be used to draw a card if needed. You have Mana Geode, 3 mana. When it enters the battlefield, describe 1. Tap it, add 1 mana of any color. Then we have Mind Stone, 2 mana. Tap to add 1 colorless mana. You can also sacrifice to draw a card. Very simple ramp here, but effective. Our removal, just our straight removal. It's not burn. You have a Braid, 2 mana. Choose 1, deal 3 damage to target creature, or destroy target artifact. I like having multiple options, as you can see with a lot of these. A Gate Assault, 3 mana. Choose 1, it deals 4 damage to target creature. If that creature would die this turn, exile instead, or exile target artifact. Nice. You have Bash to Bits for 4 mana, destroy target artifact, or flashback. After the fact, for 6 mana, you play this card from your graveyard for its flashback cost and remove it from the game, so you can use it again and then exile it. Burning Anger, 5 mana, enchantment. Enchanted creature has tapped this. This creature deals damage equal to its power to any target. That can be very good for some of these big boys, especially that one. Where is he at? Where is he at? Where is he at? I wish I could remember. Where's our big boy that we just saw a little while ago? This guy here. You just keep buffing him and then have him deal damage. So it's really nice. By force, destroy X target artifacts. If you got somebody playing a blue artifact deck, this can really put a hurt on them. It's really good to have. You have Crash for 3 mana. You may sacrifice a mountain instead of paying its cost. You destroy target artifact. Again, get rid of an artifact. You have Crush, destroy target non-creature artifact for only 1 red mana. That can be very useful to get rid of mana ramping artifacts. Something like also Whisper Silk Cloak, things like that. Destructive Tampering. You have 3 mana here. Destroy one. Choose one. Destroy target artifact or creatures without flying can't block this turn. That can be very nice. Um, we have our tokens now. Akai, Ember Keeper for 2 mana, 2/1. Whenever a non token modified creature you control dies, create a 1/1 colorless spirit creature token. Just some extra token play. It's always nice to have. And it's also a goblin. So we have Anax, Hardened in the Forge, 3 mana, star, and 3. Its power is equal to your devotion to red, which is, how many of these symbols on cards you have on the field of the red symbol. Whenever Anax or another non-token creature you control dies, create a 1/1 red satyr creature token when this creature can't block. If the creature had power 4 or greater, create 2 of those tokens instead. It's always nice to have some redundant token creation. I like it. Krinko Mob Boss, 4 mana, 3/3. You guys know what this guy does. You tap him, you create X amount of red goblin token creature tokens, where X is the number of goblins you control. He can just ramp that up. Um, Pugnacious Pugilist for 5 mana, 4/4. Whenever it attacks, create a tapped and attacking 1/1 red devil creature token with when this creature dies, it deals 1 damage to you. Also has Blitz for 4. If you cast a spell for Blitz cost, it gains haste. When this creature dies, draw a card, sacrifice at the beginning of your next end step. So if you need to get him out, you can get him out for 1 mana cheaper. And then you have Seer Slicer Goblin for 2 mana, 2/1. Beginning of your end step, if you attack this turn, create a 1/1 red goblin creature token. Always nice to have. Then we have Tiblet, Rakish, and Instigator for 3 mana. He's got 5. He's a planeswalker. I don't really care so much about his token creation. I care that your opponents can't gain life. That's nice to have. For white or even green and black, that can be a very good thing to have. But his -2 is create a 1/1 red devil creature token with when this creature dies, it deals 1 damage to any target. We don't really care so much about that. We want this. Um, and that's the whole deck. Yeah, not really crazy. I wouldn't say this is a super complex, complicated deck, but it did work and it worked effectively in what I wanted it to do earlier, and I enjoyed that about it. So again, not super complicated. It's pretty straightforward. Be aggressive. Make it where they can't block you. Do double damage. Give yourself double strike. And create a fuckload of tokens that can either defend or attack as needed. It's versatile. It's as simple as red gets, I think. Um, yeah, that's it. That's all I really have to say about it. I will link it in the description like I do all my other decks. If you guys have any other suggestions for decks in the future you want to see, like color combinations or types of decks, let me know. I'm not the most well versed person in Magic. I'm not. I'm pretty casual, but I can see what I can do. Maybe it'll push me to learn some new stuff. I'm okay with that. The next episode is going to be the mono black budget deck that we're going to build. Oh yeah, by the way, it's $73, but without basic lands at $60. That's still within budget realm for me, as I would say. I think that was the intention, was still to make a budget deck, and that's what I did. So exclude basic lands, $60. If you include, I think really anything that's within like $50 to $100 is probably budget. Obviously cheaper than that, so $0 to $100, obviously. Now, some things I may build without the intention of it being budget, and it's still in that same range. That's just because I don't like blowing money, like $300 or $400 on Magic decks. But this is an effective deck for $60. If you have a land station, you can pick it up and get it taken care of. So yeah, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to subscribe, like if you enjoyed the video, share it with the people. All that fun YouTube shit. I hope you enjoyed yourselves and have a good one.